Hey there, fellow builders. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Jurassic Splashdown. Episode 15, starting a grand undertaking.
Yo, Spieler, what are you doing? Oh, I see. Spieler, you are going to be unrestricted to haul sandstone. So I'll have to keep a close eye on the predators, so that Spieler doesn't end up hauling sandstone near a predator. There's no stones to cut, which is why they are mining away at the iron. As you guys keep saying, the children yearn for the mines, and I guess that's unfortunately a little true. Go away, bug. That was weird. The bug fell asleep for like a quarter of a second and then woke back up. I like our like electric green colored couch. It's hilarious. So maybe I need another, like, kill box entry here. So I'll put one there. Or not kill box, nature running zoning. I'll probably put one here, or maybe in the corner, just so that we have freedom of movement. Ken, isn't there stuff for you to be working on, pal? Oh, you are zone restricted too. Oh, okay, that's my fault. I have not seen the Minecraft movie, so I don't get that reference. But I'm assuming Minecraft mining, I can interpret it. The external doors that we're putting on here were okay, it's still granite. The other thing is I don't want these roofed up. Spieler, that's not the kind of hauling I was hoping to have you do. I wanted the chunks. Yeah, there you go. The doors need granite, so I might as well haul the occasional granite too. Do I like Anomaly or not really? I like parts of Anomaly. Actually, I would say I like Anomaly. The monolith mystery parts of Anomaly are interesting a few times. Like, depending on how you want to approach it. But the joiners, the creep joiners, is pretty cool. I like the concept of the creep joiners a lot. So any DLC that is like a mystery, right? Like mystery games in general are fun not multiple times in a row. They're generally fun once, and then you know the mystery, and it's not a surprise anymore. So, to that end, the whole concept of Anomaly being a mystery loses its novelty pretty quickly. That just can't be helped due to its very nature. But creep joiners are pretty awesome. So, not that I'm playing on Anomaly here, because it doesn't really fit with the story, but like most of my series going forward might incorporate Anomaly in that passively without the focus on the monolith, because creep joiners are cool unless it clashes with the story. But it's of all of the DLCs, it's definitely the weakest in terms of its replayability. But it also introduces Z levels for the first time and a bunch of other concepts that I feel like people overlook in a really neat way. So there's parts of Anomaly that I think are not considered as like crucial to RimWorld that probably they should be, because it's very cool. And then another advantage of Anomaly, which is probably frustrating to a lot of players, but I thought was pretty interesting, is the defense meta is forced to change due to Anomaly as well, because of Shamblers and Devourers and some of the other... Really? The lightning was right here in the only section of my wooden wall? Fine. The turtle mechanics defensive meta changed as well, which I thought was an interesting thing. Gotta love Dead Life Dust defenses. They're so strong. You know, and Unnatural Dark... Yeah, Anomaly adds a lot of really cool features. It's just its novelty of mystery does wear off quick. That I get. Well, what do you guys think? Because I know on the RimWorld subreddit, there's... Hate is a strong word, but there is a lot of Anomaly hate in the subreddit. I think when you compare it to the other DLCs, like generally people put biotech and ideology kind of at the top, and then royalty and then Anomaly. I think that's the general consensus, more or less. But I think when you consider... If you consider Anomaly in the scope of what other games, not RimWorld DLCs, but other DLCs, just in general, have, Anomaly is a better DLC than almost every other DLC for any other game. Bang for your buck. You know, how many dozens of hours you're going to get out of Anomaly? It's worth it. Even if you don't like it, I think it's still worth it, to be honest. Right? Like, you could easily get 100 hours out of Anomaly. You know, Anomaly... There are some other really cool features of Anomaly, like atmospheric heaters and incendiary weapons and... you know, as I said, the creep joiners. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I like a lot of the individual features and value it for what it is. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's a DLC that didn't fully integrate with the game. To some degree or another. The way I picture RimWorld, like, in general, RimWorlds are worlds that are at the edge of society. Right? That's the definition of more or less that Tynan lays down of RimWorlds. And I think Anomaly is one type of RimWorld. It's a RimWorld that is haunted. You know, like the joke of Haunted Moon. So it's not so much that, like, Anomaly was bad, but it's, like, one story that is self-contained, whereas, like, ideology and biotech, not really royalty. Royalty does the same thing. Royalty splits, that you have the Empire faction royals and then the tribal Psycasters. So I would also... I would actually make the argument that... no, don't roof that up either. that Anomaly is no less integrated into RimWorld as Royalty is. I think they're roughly the same levels of integration. Okay, so here we'll put the granite door. And, oops. And then the airlock. But the lovely thing is, like, RimWorld is, you know, it's a, unless you mod it, it's a single player game, so if you don't like it, don't use it. Just that simple. Spieler, are you still... Oh, well, she's doing the harvest hauling. That's why we have a stone hauling slowdown. Kinda knew that Anomaly wasn't going to be well received as the rest of the DLCs. He kind of acknowledges when he released it. I do think that that trying to have like a fully incorporated and integrated DLC every time is nigh impossible. And there's not really a lot of other games that even attempt that. Right? Like, thinking about other sort of city builder games, or 4X games or whatever. Like, take, you know, Crusader Kings or Stellaris, or any of these games where it's like, hey, this is a new Civ, this is a new Civ. They're all the content is compartmentalized. Trying to have it all integrate. And this, to be fair, was one of the big changes that strategies that Tynan changed when introducing DLCs is initially the DLCs that Tynan was planning on introducing would not actually integrate with one another for the consumer's benefit. Because if you have them integrated, it implies or it encourages you to purchase them all. Which is why Ideology, Royalty, and Biotech didn't really integrate until he sort of changed strategies. Because the community was like, no, it's cool. Encourage us to buy all your DLCs. That's fine. And that's why there's pieces of Biotech and Ideology and Royalty integrated into one another. It was a strategy change that Ludion made. So there was purposeful lack of integration initially because he was worried about consumer backlash integrating them into pieces of one another. They're not dependent upon one another. You can have one or the other, which is great, you know, so if you don't want to buy them all, you don't have to buy them all. And then changing the strategy so that they self-integrate, so that basically Ideology references other DLCs, for instance. You know, so there's pieces of there's ideologies for things like liking different biotech, you know, ideologies for mechs, ideologies for different xenotypes, ideologies for vampires of biotech, so on and so forth. I really like that kind of integration. And to be fair, Anomaly has less integration into other of the DLCs. But even then, you know, I still do like Anomaly quite a bit. I thought it was pretty fascinating the first playthrough. I think when you take a step back and think about the most intense moments of RimWorld, when I think of like as a storyteller playing RimWorld, some of my intense moments were Anomaly moments. You know? So Anomaly might not have had the most compelling replayability, but my god, the first few playthroughs of Anomaly were like gut-wrenching. Being stabbed in the dark, having like a giant pit open up in the middle of your base. Stuff like that, you're just like, what the hell is going on? This sort of like, oh crap feeling. Because like, a pod drop raid is a pod drop raid is a pod drop raid. And yeah, sometimes you get pod drop raids where they're all strapped with doomsday launchers, but it's kind of the samesies. right? It's like, oh, okay, I just got bad luck. Whereas like when anomaly hits you for the first time and it's like raining blood and like zombies are popping out of the ground and you got like 300 shamblers going crazy, like it ramps the intensity of RimWorld up to like 11 in a way that none of the other DLCs did. You know, it's not like biotech sends a swarm of vampires to like haunt you quite like a revenant does, you know? There isn't that. It's not like biotech adds, you know, the Apocrytons and the Diabolus they don't swarm you in the same way that Anomaly is like, guess what? You're dead, you know? And maybe I'm a bit of a masochist, but I kind of like the guess what? You're dead parts of Anomaly. There's probably something wrong with me, to be fair, but I don't know. I like what I like, right? So that's kind of my feeling about Anomaly is I really liked when it went to 11 because it just felt epic. That and unlike the other DLCs, Anomaly also has a win condition where it really makes sense to continue because the royalty win condition, you don't continue, you're gone. The vanilla win condition, you're gone. There is no biotech win. Well, yeah, there's not really a biotech win condition. There's not an ideology win condition, but the anomaly win condition, you're not gone. You're stronger. You're more well equipped to deal with the crazies. So it's also the first win condition that allows you to continue playing, and it makes sense for you to continue playing. Whereas all the other win conditions, that is not the case. And that's something I really like as well. So, you know, if I was playing RimWorld and I wanted to beat the game, but continue playing, the anomaly win is definitely the win I would go for. Yo, kiddos, what's, oh, okay, you're back to stone cutting. I was wondering about that. So we have a quarter of a wall. I changed it a little bit so it's a little shorter over here to our benefit. I might also... I don't think trying to incorporate this marble is going to be worth it. I think we'd have to go spend more materials. Because, I mean, I was vaguely thinking doing this. Yeah, maybe that's worth it. Although, terrain affordance. No, that's not gonna work. That's all marsh. Nope. I am curious what is on the horizon for RimWorld. There's a lot of I've seen a lot of speculation about what next sort of stuff they'll introduce. But for me, I just like to see it when I have it. You know, I'm not one to brainstorm and speculate. How's our growth tiers? So we're both sitting at growth tier 1 of 4 options, which is pretty strong. Nabla, you are gonna have a birthday in about a season. The other thing that we do not have is a comms console. And it just occurred to me that we have radio talking as an education type. So I might want to drop a comms console for the last education type. Because this whole project here is for, again, to back up things and to further explain. There's sky dreaming, which you need a place at least 36 tiles away from any colony structure apart from flooring. Radio talking is comms console. Floor drawing is drawing on the floor. Nature running is 36 tiles away from a colony structure. Work watching is following an adult around. Lesson taking is the desk. And then the last is reading, which is a book. So this giant project here manages nature running and sky. And then this will do radio talking. So right now, Nabla having sky dreaming and radio talking, she can't be educated. I don't have the facilities for either of those things at the moment. But I'm working on it. And then one of the other nice things is cutting wood is going to be really simple once we have a giant walled-in area, because then the kids can go source firewood without the parents having to be escorts, because I'll kill or flush all the dinosaurs out of this zone, so it's completely safe. Part of me almost wants to maybe lure in a Dryosaurus, which is completely tame dinosaur, and bring a Dryosaurus within the walls so that the Nabla and Doppy can be around dinosaurs that don't pose a threat to them. Although there still is the like random mad animal event, so I think it would still be potentially risky. Is the uptime command not working? It should be. Oh, you know, it isn't working. My bad. It is working now. I don't think I have enough power to run the comms. So I'm going to turn off the research bench because I'm not researching anything. So now we can do radio talking. I mean, there's no one to really talk to. Apparently I can call the... I mean, who knows how they have a radio? But I'm not an ally, so it's kind of moot. It'd be great to know where their towns are. But again, I'm not an ally, so why would they tell me? What a massive playground. So how kids will get benefit from it? They just do. They just get to tinker with it. I mean, I don't know. My kid plays with things that have no tangible immediate benefit, and he just likes to mess with it. It's just as simple as that. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just a, oh, I get to play with this? Cool. My kid loves flashlights, for instance. Absolutely loves flashlights. You're in your 50s and you love flashlights? Yeah, flashlights they're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. He even has one of those, because I see flashlight equals lifesaver. He even has a lightsaber toy, which I'm surprised that he hasn't lost access to, because he's not exactly the most friendly to our dogs. Our dogs are really good at tolerating his violence or whatever, teasing, etc. He's really good to Yoda. I think because Yoda's tiny, he knows not to hit Yoda, but I mean, he's a toddler. He's not even 3 yet. So like, he hits Echo and Tusk tolerate it very, very well. Better than I thought they would, to be honest. But he's never hit them with like a lightsaber or something. He just like swats them, you know. Shenanigans, yeah. But they're a little bit more than shenanigans. Sometimes. I was no better. I was certainly no angelic kid, so, you know, I'm sure I deserve a bit of a troublemaker. looks like we are out of firewood. We have enough stockpiled. I'm not too worried about it. What kind of dog is Echo? She is a Tamascan. She's like a Finnish sled dog. Same with Tusk. They're big, floofy, happy dogs. They're up in the years now, though. They're still pretty healthy, but they're getting up in the years. Yoda here is a 2012 doggy. So he's 13. Doing good though. A little bit less able to hold his hold potty than when he was a little younger. So with that said, unless the wife comes to grab him, I'll make sure he goes out potty soon. There we go. Nice and comfy. Happy dog. I have really been left alone by predators for quite a while. The berry is over here. I'm a little worried because there's no other dinosaurs near this barracks. So if it gets hungry, it's probably coming after me. And the compies are like down here. And they've been mostly leaving alone, which is great. And the Diplo's up there. Yeah, I've mostly been left alone. Just given the wonderful time to build the lovely wall. The massive playground wall. That happens to most of us at that age. Yeah, I guess. I wouldn't know. But I could imagine. No, don't do that. I hate when they do that. They deliver the materials and they're like, alright, I'm done, job's done, bye. It's like, I don't want to have you have to run all the way back over here to build this. I guess let's just paint the home zone ahead of time. And I'll just make the whole wall. And then set up the cutouts. So from here, we'll do a granite door here. That'll work. And then maybe one here. I'll do it there, because then I won't need to do as much steel. Granite. There. Nice. Spieler is probably so tired of hauling stone. But everyone's happy. All the kids are participating. They all know this project is ultimately for them to enjoy nature unconstrained by tight walls. So, they're cooperating with the stone cutting. There's definitely lots of sweat equity in this project. Only had another forest fire. It was really easy to build these walls because of the recent forest fire that burned down the trees. You can see the old growth and the young growth. It's pretty, I mean, there's a lot of contrast there. All the ash is gone. But the old growth trees, the Katsura trees, are just missing completely in that area. Okay, wildlife check. Nothing has changed. And I am going to, oops. I'm going to skip some corn sowing for a bit. Oh, there's so many trees in the way. There's also some new dead bodies I forgot to bury. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Okay. They're pack hunters, man. You saw me react when I saw them flooding. I don't think I would have run away from them in time. They would have swarmed Ken. How many are alive? 7? Oh, and they move fast. Alright, for now, I'm going to stay inside. And I'm going to try to dwindle their numbers. When they go to sleep. I'm going to, like, take pot shots at them or something. Now you understand why I was, when they showed up and you were probably like, oh, they're tiny. Yeah, no. They're not tiny. They're swarmy. They're murdery, swarmy little monsters. Alright, so we're kind of stuck inside because the copies just took over my territory. Ooh, what was it, headshot? Heart shot. Well. Kilgore, thank you for the gifted subs. One thing I can do is, like, take shots at them to try to get them to spread out and go away. Because it's not going to be safe to continue our wall project until they are dispersed. Alright, that one is fatally bleeding. By them, oh, that one's dead. Heart shot again. By themselves, they're not particularly dangerous. It's when they swarm and there's like 7 of them. It gets real murdery. Alright, that one's fatally bleeding. That one's dead. No one's gonna keep me from building a playground for my kiddos. Wow, you keep shooting them in the, like, vital organs, my guy. Ken, you are scary, dude. Oh, there's another vital organ in the neck. Well, I think the copies are dead. Oh, God, no, there's more. What the hell? A whole new pack just wandered in. Well, the good news is, it's safe for Spieler and Ken for now, but I'll have to keep an eye on them. How's the stream been? Pretty good. No immediate complaints, at least. And no save scumming. I've been alive, so there's that as well. Spieler is hauling in all the dead copies. Compies. Compsognathus. Or something. I don't know. I never took Latin. Running in terror. Yeah, that was... when I saw them all heading for me, I thought they were heading for me and not that Triceratops or whatever it was. Which is why I, like, immediately panic sprinted into cover. And, I think there's still some, like, corpses around, so... I'm trying to tidy them up. So I'll keep an eye on this pack here. There's a lot of prey around this pack. There's these Triceratops and the Pachycephalosaurus. So hopefully it does. I get some reprieve. How many more dead people do I have? Wasp. Okay. I think Spieler's heading to bury Wasp. Unfortunately, butchering them is kind of pointless. Oh, Kentrosauruses. Alright. We are going to be on the inside now. And I will set up a research task to get air conditioning. There's enough of them. I could probably take them on, but we've been doing so much outside tasks, I'll just stay inside for a bit. It's not a big problem. So Spieler, go to research. Alright, whatever. When it rains, it pours. The other Kentrosaurus is like, you know what? I'm getting all hostile. Alright, Ken, if you're on house arrest, you might as well make some pemmican. I would make fine meals, but everyone's so happy, who cares? They're fine with corn. Grilled corn every night. Did anyone tell you your noises are dumb? They sound goofy. Where's a raid when you need one? No kidding. So I'm planning, because it's just cheaper, to go for regular air conditioning. Whether we incorporate Dub's air conditioning at a later date or something, you know, we can decide. But I'll do normal air conditioning just to get the freezer going here, so that's going to be a properly frozen area. And when you make pemmican, drop it. Someone else will haul it. So your birthday... Oh no, that's Doppy. Nabla, you are gonna have a growth moment pretty soon. Pretty soon, 9 days. We are almost in growth tier 4. So let's... It's too bad I don't have more options for... Well, yeah, we'll try to hit growth tier 4 for a bunch of trade options. That would be most excellent. What about tree sapling research? Well, once we have this area zoned off, there's going to be a lot of naturally grown trees that we can harvest, so we don't really need to plant any. With that said, planting chocolate might be nice, but, you know, that comes with time. I think keeping our meat and vegetables frozen is probably the most important thing to do right now, because we have an enormous amount of unrefrigerated food that is inevitably going to spoil if we don't do something about it. I'm surprised the, I'm sure the Triceratops' young have died. Do these whatever they're called? And I'm surprised it doesn't trigger the pack of Triceratops to respond violently. That'd be cool, like turf war between dinosaurs. All right, one more batch of pemmican and you're done. Now, if none of the children need radio talking, which they don't, I can also turn on the fab over the comms and then start machining. So you smith over mine, make components. And that's a really good way to grind crafting experience so that he makes better clothing and weapons and the like. And we're down to one Kentrosaurus, waiting for it to go away, and then we can go back outside.
Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Jurassic Splashdown, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind this streamed one time only as a marathon. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Special thanks to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow survivors in this jungle world.